Hey, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a book haul of the books the last couple times I've gone to Barnes & Noble. I went twice this week and once last week, so I'll just show you what I got. So the first book I picked up recently is The Kite Runner. I'm not even going to attempt to say the author's name because I know I'm going to butcher it and I really should look up the pronunciation, but here we are. I was in Barnes & Noble with my mom actually, and I saw this. It was actually on the banned book table, and I know it's supposed to be a really good book. And so I picked it up, and she offered to pay for it, so my mom bought me this book. This is a story of two boys in Afghanistan. One of them is wealthy, and the other one is the son of one of the servants of the other boy's father. And it's about friendship, redemption. It's set in Afghanistan. I really don't know much about this, but I've heard a lot of people say it's really good, and I've had my eye on it for a while because I do like historical fiction kinds of things. So yeah, I picked this one up, and my mom was so nice to buy it for me. But I do plan on reading this summer. For some reason, anything like this is like historical fiction kinds of things I always prefer during the summer. I don't know why, but it's just the way I am. The next two books I picked up the other day because Second & Charles, our secondhand bookstore, recently opened, and I went to sell some books to them, and they called me and said I had store credit if I wanted to come. Well, I had to go and accept the offer, and so I used my store credit to get both of these books. The first book I picked up was Layla by Colleen Hoover. I have actually already read and finished this book, but this is about Leeds and Layla who meet at Layla's sister's wedding and kind of fall in love, and it's going back and forth between the present and the past. He is being interviewed by someone, and it opens up in the first chapter with he has Layla tied up upstairs and no explanation of why, and he's giving an interview, and it's going back to like how they met, how they fell in love, and all these things that happened to them. And she spent like weeks in the hospital, and so they're trying to repair their relationship after that, and it follows that storyline. And it is one of those, kind of like with Verity, where it's not a typical Colleen Hoover book. This is very different from her basic romance. I actually really did enjoy this. I ended up giving it 4 stars, but this is the next one I picked up. On that trip as well, I went ahead and got A Touch of Malice. Even though I'm not going to read it right now, this is the third book in the Touch of Darkness trilogy. But as we all know, there's the Hades POV and Game of Retribution, which is supposed to be read before you read A Touch of Malice, comes out in May. So I went ahead and bought this book because I'm like contemplating reading it and going back to Retribution, but I may wait until Retribution. I'm not sure, but I did go ahead and pick it up. So if you don't already know, Touch of Darkness is a Hades and Persephone retelling. And that's all I'll say about that. The last 3 books I actually bought yesterday. So the whole reason I went book shopping yesterday is I was already out and I was with my friend, and I was like, do you want to go to Barnes & Noble? And she was like, you really don't need to go there. And I was like, but I do. Specifically because I wanted to pick up this book, and that is Project Hail Mary. He's an astronaut, kind of. Basically, he's the sole survivor on a last chance mission to save Earth. So he's like on the ship by himself, and the mission is to save Earth. I don't know much else about that. I don't typically love sci-fi, but I've seen some people who aren't sci-fi people like this, and it just seems really interesting. So I'm gonna give it a go. I don't love that it's hardback because I couldn't tell you the last time I read a hardback book because paperback is just more comfortable. But this is when I went into Barnes & Noble, and of course, as one does, you don't go into Barnes & Noble and walk out with one book. Of course not. So the other book I walked out of Barnes & Noble with is The Shadows. Basically, this is a then and now perspective. Charlie Crabtree commits a murder, and then it jumps forward 25 years, and there are copycats of his murders happening. But the problem is when him and his friend murdered their other friend, back in then, Charlie Crabtree went missing. So no one really knows what happened to him, and now it's happening again. Has lots to do with lucid dreaming and that sort of thing. I actually started this like today, So I am currently reading this because I'm really struggling getting into A Gathering of Shadows, and so I'm going to read this and then go back to A Gathering of Shadows. Probably read something else, go back to A Gathering of Shadows until I finish it. But yeah, this is what I'm reading currently, and I did also pick it up yesterday. And then after we went to Barnes & Noble, my friend wanted to go to 2nd and Charles. And so we also went to 2nd and Charles, and I bought another book. I literally said, walking into the store, I'm not spending money in here. And then I did. But it is because I have had this in my cart on Amazon for a really long time because I specifically wanted this edition of this book, and it was just sitting on the table by itself as if someone had picked it up and then put it down there. And it is the Puffin and Bloom version of Little Women. Like, I just think this is so pretty. I love the gold foil, and like it has them on the cover, and I've actually never read Little Women and I really want to. So yeah, I picked up this copy of Little Women. I did not plan on buying anything until I saw it because like I don't see these in public often, and so when I saw it I was like, yeah, I need to go ahead and get that because I've had my eye on it for so long. I felt it was justification. Little Women follows 4 sisters. Don't know much else about it. I don't think I've even seen the movies. So yeah, and I know people are obsessed with it, but we're gonna read this and then I'll watch the movies. So those are all the books I have bought in the past week. I think there's like 6 books, although the first one my mom did buy for me, so shout out to Robin. Yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.